What's next? Are we doing anything else with the
So,
lights
all right,
vanishing?
we have to investigate this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can't think. Oh, I don't want to do this.
What don't you want to do, Connor?
I don't want to use Gus's lure.
That's just lore.
Lure as bait. Make Gus light and give him water breathing and sink him down from the boat.
My understanding is right now everybody has water breathing because
Right.
Yep.
Lucius casts the spell as ritual.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I really do not want to be dangled down there because they keep cutting the rope.
He's
I
not
will
wrong.
All the more reason why I don't want to use Gus's bait.
If you're wearing heavy armor, you cannot swim. You are going to sink.
Right.
There's no way for you to get buoyant. If you're on, even if you can breathe, if you're wearing heavy armor and they don't have some way of pulling you up, you're not getting back aboard this ship unless you doff your armor.
Right.
Unless you have some magical means of giving yourself a swim speed.
That was going to be my next thing. Would someone generate a swim speed somehow? I think maybe
Don't
the ranger
have
could do it, but
the
no,
ability to.
definitely not. Because I'm just
Would-
stuck on level 10 for some inexplicable reason.
It's the last level. There's no bigger number.
I mean, whatever. I'll go down.
You'll go down?
Yeah.
Unlike
you,
Batman.
you the lose.
Sorry. Connor, what are you doing? Just diving in?
Let's doff the armor.
Are you wearing heavy armor? I thought
I'm
you were
wearing leather. I am wearing leather.
Leather's not heavy, though.
Yeah.
I think it's like chainmail or better counts as heavy. So Gus's plate definitely counts. I'm not sure if anybody else here is wearing heavy armor.
Half plate.
A half plate would be heavy.
All right, well,
I thought about taking my armor off since we're on a boat, but that didn't go so well in the last campaign for Razu, so I have decided not to do that.
all right, Alexander, make me glow.
I'll
Somehow.
give you the continual light coin, and I could put a glow on your rapier.
How far can your little mind talky thing do?
I like that sentence a
So-
lot.
Thing is, I know what he means.
Yeah, me too.
60 feet.
Okay, so we don't let out more rope than that.
Well, you've let out that much rope with Gus previously.
Well, I don't. Well,
You can.
hmm.
Would
Connor,
he?
you got to make a decision.
Would Connor be able to misty step if he got eaten? Would be able to
Yeah.
misty step to the 30 feet away out of the
I could
creature?
definitely misty step. That's actually kind of what I was thinking.
I don't have any level 2 spell slots left. I can't do that.
All right, I am sufficiently lit,
Uh-huh.
and I'll just Alon Z right off the boat.
Alonzi.
Okay, so Misty Step will take you to an unoccupied space that you can see within 30 feet. So if you get eaten, you can Misty Step to another place inside the creature that ate you.
Well, I have it on good authority. This creature is using tools, so hopefully he'll just stab me to death.
So your gut's going over the side.
Yeah.
All right, into the water with a splash. And the water is frigidly cold. You would not want to spend a great amount of time here. Where is the ship going after Connor jumps over? Are we making an effort to keep the ship in place, pulling down the sails?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull the sail down.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll drift. We'll both drift on the current, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll initiative.
This is fine. Didn't Razu get caught up in a net once?
It happens.
This is fine.
It happens from time to time.
What's your effective dark vision, Connor?
Connor's effective dark vision is 60 feet.
Okay. So after 60 feet, above you, all you're seeing is the glow from the light of the ship. And it shines like a beacon because there's no other point of light except for the one you're holding.
So I'll actually take the incredibly bright light and point it downward.
Okay.
You know, it just occurs to me, Alexander, that I'm glad you didn't listen to me when I said a carriage was fine.
Oh! Before we do all that.
No, we've already done all that.
All right.
We've already rolled initiative.
All right. Yep. That's fair.
Connor, what is your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
14. Okay. You guys aboard the ship. Connor, you're sinking down into this frigid water. And with no lifeline, no rope, but you can see the light above you until suddenly you can't. And all the water around you, first of all, it gets slightly warmer and quite a bit more viscous. Like it's adhering to your skin and your hair and seeping into your armor. Like you find yourself inside of this ink cloud. Those of you on the vessel looking down, you see Connor's light sink and sink and sink until you can't see Connor anymore. You can just see the point of light. And then after a few moments, you can't even see that anymore. You're pretty sure he cannot possibly, in that amount of time, sink so far that the light would be out of range of your vision. He would have had to sink like at least half of a mile is the effective range where you can see the flickering of a candle, if I'm remembering my biology class correct, which I'm not. But that's going to bring us to Connor. You're at the top of the initiative order. Here's what I want you to do on your first turn is make a wisdom saving throw.
Is it against plants, dude, that are impeding my
It is
movement?
definitely not.
Oh, okay. Oh, tits. That's a 12.
Okay, well, you find yourself engulfed in this cloud of ink, and the only thing you're certain of at this precise moment is which direction is up. You know how to go up.
Yeah,
turn.
we're going up. Let us go up. You said there's an immediate effect of feeling warm. Like, oh, that's just Connor pissing himself. Then you described it as being very viscous. I'm like, that's probably not Connor anymore.
Well, he's been eating good berries for like days and days.
Yeah, straight up.
So you're swimming your full speed?
Yeah,
So your movement speed is what, 30?
30.
So you can swim, 15 feet around?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
I think that's right, yeah.
So
Lucius,
you can dash for 30.
you can dash for 30. Is that what you're doing?
Yep. Let's dash for 30.
Lucius, all you're aware of is a second ago you were able to see Connor's light, and now suddenly you're not.
Is my dark vision impeded at all? My crazy, stupid dark vision?
You can't see Connor's light at all.
Okay. So not magical darkness. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to cast fly on myself,
Okay.
and I'm going to hover over the water, about 5 feet, where Connor disappeared.
I would really like you to move your little piece out over from the boat. That just makes me happy. The more of you are not safely on the boat.
Wait, the boat is safe?
Yeah, for credit. Making a lot of assumptions about this boat.
You don't think the boat's going to betray you, do you?
Yeah.
That's all you're doing, Lucius? Just casting the spell and flying out over the water?
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
high
'cause
above the surface of the water would you like to be?
5 feet. My
Just
intention
right
is
above the surface.
my intention is for my next action will be to hold an action, and if Connor breaches the water, I'm going to cast fly on myself and him.
Okay. Connor.
Yes, sir.
You can't see these creatures, so they attack with advantage.
That is a fair point. But I have good berries.
Connor, I have a 17 to hit.
That hits.
I have a 25 to hit. And I have a 16 to hit.
That's number wang. Yeah.
Connor.
Yep.
3 points of piercing damage from the first hit.
Okay.
And you are grappled and restrained.
Mm.
1 point of piercing damage from the second hit. And
Okay.
you are grappled and restrained.
Okay.
And 3 points of piercing damage from the third hit. And you are grappled and restrained. As suddenly
Okay.
you feel these bites all over your body as you suddenly become entangled in nets that are thrown around you. And the nets have some kind of sharp objects sewn into them at intervals. So they're biting into your exposed flesh, tearing into your breeches and screeching across your leather armor. The good news is you can now see the creatures that have done this to you emerging from the cloud of ink since they've made an attack. The bad news is they are incredibly ugly albino fish people with a mass of tentacles around their face. And each of the three of them have deftly thrown this net around your body and then latched onto it. And you are tightly bound. And you can't really tell how far above your people are from you. But they're lashing out with these long eel-like tails. And they seem intent on dragging you down into the depths. And that's going to bring us to Numac.
Numac dodge. Literally nothing he can do.
Numac's getting it done. Bring us to Gus.
Gus is just kind of looking over the side going, you think he's okay?
Well, not from the middle of the boat, you're not. Okay, so you peer over the side and wonder if Connor's okay.
Yeah.
It's going to bring us
I'm
to Alex.
I'm sending in my thoughts and prayers and dodging.
Can a creature with a swim speed swim in heavy armor?
Yeah. I'd allow that.
Okay, Alex pulls his seeing Connor disappear. Alex pulls a scroll out of his case. Let me see if this is concentration. Yep, and casts Alter Self on himself to grow gills and gain webbing.
Okay.
And then he dives into the water and swims down.
How far can you swim in one round?
25 feet, so 50 if I dash. So if I go 25 and I still don't see Connor, I'll swim another 25. Oh no, I only have one action because I cast a spell, so 25.
Yep.
So you're 25 feet below the ship.
Yep. And
Connor,
I've got the other continual flame coin on me.
Connor went quite a bit deeper than that. So your intent is to swim downward until you can see Connor.
Yeah.
What's your range on dark vision?
120.
So below you, it's difficult to see because you're looking down into this just endless void, this abyss of darkness. But there is a cloud of ink that's slowly dispersing far, far below you. It would take you maybe another 10 seconds or so or hard swimming to get to that depth.
Mm-hmm.
But you surmise this is why you can't see Connor's light, as it was suddenly enveloped in this cloud of ink.
Okay.
What is Crappy doing?
Dodging.
Dodging. It's gonna bring
He has
us
the super bright light now.
back to Connor.
Okay. So Connor looks at the creatures. Oh, this is gonna. You would think after how many years have we been doing this, I would not do something like this. But I feel like I have to.
You have to?
So I'm just gonna roll with it.
Okay.
Looking at his surroundings, he looks at these weird albino tentacle fish creatures, wags a finger at them, uses Misty Step, and teleports 30 feet upward.
Okay.
That's a bonus action.
Sure.
And then after that, swim another 30, and then dash another 30. Or whatever
So
would be.
when you
for
misty step
equivalent.
out of the cloud of ink, before you swim anywhere, you can see Alex, who has transformed himself into a creature with gills, is about 25 feet above you.
Oh. Okay.
So you could swim like just about to Alex's position this turn, and then with your action, another 30 feet beyond that, which would get you to the surface.
Okay.
Is that the plan?
That is a plan. And
Alright.
Connor holds up holds up 3 fingers.
Alex will nod.
So yeah, Connor, you break the surface of the water. And as those of you looking down, you can see Connor is just coated in this layer of viscous grease or oil or something that's matted his hair to his body and has gunked up the corners of his eyes. That's going to bring us to Lucius.
Going to ready in action.
Sure.
If Alexander and Connor are both at the surface of the water, he's going to cast Fly on all 3 of them.
Okay.
Himself and the other 2. That's going to end my turn.
And these guys can only swim 40 feet, which is not enough to catch Alex, but it does put them in range of their ranged attack. So Alex, far below you from the cloud of ink, you see these 3 fish creatures swimming up out of the cloud very quickly. And see you above them, and they're each going to each one of them reaches on their back and pulls down a harpoon and flings it with great skill in your direction. And you see that the harpoons have some kind of line attached to them that's coiling out as they fly towards you. The first harpoon, I have a 10 to hit.
Nope.
The second, I have a 19 to hit.
Shield.
That makes your AC what?
22.
And the third is a crit. So that's 4. $18 points of piercing damage.
Still have alter self up.
Okay. And I need to make a strength check. Looking to beat a 14.
It's a -3.
You are pulled down 20 feet towards the creature. As 2 of
Okay.
these harpoons, one of them zings by you. The second one deflects off your harpoon. The third one, or off your shield. The third one impales you in the shoulder, and you feel yourself wrenched downwards. All the way to their position. So you are now at their position.
So you just said I was pulled down about 40 feet?
No, you were pulled 20 feet towards them.
Okay.
They swam up towards you, so you're in the effective range of the harpoon, and that's all they can do this round. That's. Do you have a light source on you?
Yeah, he has the continual flame coin strapped to his armor. He's got a little slot for it.
So all you guys can see what's happening with Alex. So you can see his light descending very rapidly, even though Connor is safe and sound. That's going to bring us to Numac.
Dodge.
That's going to bring us to Gus.
Can I see the fish people in the light shed by Alex's coin?
You can, but it's going to be. They're a good. At least 30 feet below. It's not possible to tell exactly how deep they are.
Level 1 magic missile.
I mean, magic missile always hits.
Right. Again, every magic missile is dedicated to Florian.
Magic missile is one of the weapons in the Mega Man fan game that I played today.
It is 8 points of force
light bulb.
damage to the closest one to Alex.
I mean, there's all three of them are just swarming around him.
All right.
Because they were
Well,
swarming
I mean-
around Connor, and now their nets are empty, and Connor blipped away, and then they all shot harpoons, and then they reeled Alex in.
Right.
But yeah, one of them, you send the missiles down, and one of them recoils. And Alex, you can see that the thing casts its face upward for a moment, looking up at the surface and towards the light of your vessel. Gus, moving or staying put?
Gus is going to use all 30 feet pacing back and forth. And because he can't jump in the water and help.
So you
This is
provoke
the-
6 opportunity attacks from the invisible monsters that I have stationed on the boat. That's going to bring us to Alex's turn.
So, do I still have a harpoon in me, or is that just like a pull one time?
That's a one-time thing.
Okay.
you're
Do
not-
they
you're not
have
restraining
additional harpoons like on their person, or did they just reel them in after the ones that missed?
Looks like each one has one, but the others are in the process of reeling them in. Like they're not going to
Okay.
lose action economy from reeling these in.
Let's go ahead and disengage and then swim up 25 feet.
Okay.
Were you within melee range of him?
I would think when they reeled me in, you said that they brought me right to them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you'd have to disengage to get away from them without provoking.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, now you guys, you can still see Alex's light, but you can also see his shape. He's not that far below the surface at this point. And that's the end of Alex's turn.
Yeah.
And what about not Scrappy?
Dodge.
Still dodging. It's going to bring us to Connor.
Dealy.
Ya boy.
All right. Connor is going to climb aboard the ship.
Okay, you climb up aboard the ship. Is that it?
And
Who was it that said we have to stop and investigate?
listen. Now we know that there's some sort of fish hunters down there who may be civilized. They're using tools. It's all very fascinating, but they are attacking us, which we need to deal with first.
So what's Connor doing?
Connor is readying an action where if he sees another attack hit, what's his name? Alex. He's gonna shoot an arrow into the water.
Okay. That's perfectly cromulent action.
I did not think that whole thing through.
All right, Connor's back safely on the ship. Lucius is going to maintain his held action, where if Alexander comes up to the surface, he's going to cast Fly on himself and Alexander.
Alex, looking below you at the 3 creatures that you've just swam away from, you see them break. They swim down and away from you. Back down into where the cloud is now mostly dissipated away. But it's clear that they're retreating from you.
All right, let's swim up to the surface and apparently get flied.
Yeah, as soon as Alex breaks the surface, that triggers Lucius's held action.
Yeah, we cast Fly and kind of just pull him back up out of the water. Nice skills, Alexander.
I wish I had had more than a scroll of that. Sorry, I didn't want to see Connor get taken away by apparently fish people.
Yeah, they got they got to be hunters, right?
Did you get a good look at him?
Oh
Tentacles around their head.
Does tentacles mean aberration?
I was gonna ask, like,
Can I make any sort of
talking
check
illicit
as
here?
an Underdark Desian to see if I just recognize a basic description of those things?
Even living in Dunfoss, you've had descriptions of various types of like ocean-going creatures like this. There's all kinds of fishmen sort of things. Without getting one aboard the vessel to examine it up close. It has a long eel tail and tentacles lashing around its mouth, humanoid arms with which to use tools. And they have
Were they carrying weapons other than the harpoons?
nets. those
That's
Right.
You know,
to the nets.
Yeah, Alex will just slump down, taking some long breaths of air.
So you don't know exactly what they are, but they were smart enough to know to not press a fight against you once you start lobbing magic missiles at them.
Little do they know I suck at it.
What we call a show of force.
But hey, they made
All
off
right.
with like 7 of your coins in a mace.
it was
The strength of the party has been eroded.
Do we
Sucks to
really
be
do
them.
sailing?
Those were the stone illusioned counterfeit coins Rudolph was making. Alex is gonna
Oh.
slump into the hammock and try and get a short rest.
Okay.
Is there any way
Yes.
that we could, like, can Gus take double duty to let Alex get? Can the other 4 of us? We're 4 grown men.
Is this eventually coming around to, hey, can we take a long rest?
No, can we cover so he can take a long
It's
rest?
not possible to take a long rest in these conditions. You don't know your environment, you can't get comfortable, you can't assure your safety, and every few hours something demands your immediate attention aboard this vessel.
so.
In fact, I'm going to require everybody at the end of, that was what, the 3rd day I think we said? I'm going to require everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, please. DC 10 or take a level of exhaustion.
Ass.
On the money.
Can I use a class feature to boost that?
If you have one.
What's the first level of exhaustion? Penalty on checks?
Yeah, skill checks.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a flash of genius on that.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use a class feature on that as well.
Okay.
Pass. Need to roll 2 or better. Anyway, yeah, this is kind of an untenable situation, fellows.
So,
yeah,
my next question is, are we going to kind of keep going the way we've been going? You have your ship, you have your candle, you're trying to maintain a single direction, you're trying to keep yourselves reasonably safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to throw this out there, and maybe it's just because we floated down into the Underdark and we've been here too long, and maybe I'm just not thinking straight, or maybe I am thinking straight and I can't tell anymore. That was literally the first signs of civilization we have seen.
Yeah.
Are you saying we jump in the water and let them take us to the bottom of this?
And hope it takes less than 8 hours?
And 24, but also hope that it
Right.
hope that they don't, try to eat us.
Which of you wants to make the die rolls?
Or what? Is it like is there any bonuses to this, or is it just naked straight 20?
Just which of you wants to roll the dice?
I'll do it.
Okay. Gus,
Uh-huh.
there is a 2% chance per day of the thing happening that takes us to the next part of the adventure. I want you to roll percentile dice until you roll a 1 or a 2 and tell me how many rolls it took.
Is this where we starve to death? I think this is where we
Yeah,
starve.
you have good
I-
memory.
That takes a spell charge.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
It does take a spell
I have
charge.
an idea once we run out of good berries and rations.
let's.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
You're bound
Mark
to
which
get it.
ones it depends.
4. Hold on, let me actually color tint one of these where it's not. Okay. That was a 99.
Now looking for a 1 or a 2. 2% chance. Did you stop counting out of sheer despair?
That was an 8. That's the closest I've gotten. I'm up to like 13.
Okay.
That's a 91. That's also not good. So that's 14. 15. 16.
So while you're doing this, I'm
17.
gonna go ahead and drop our straw poll in our Twitch chat.
18. 9. We're gonna be down here for like 2 months.
I'm
20.
really not. I'm really not happy right now.
There's a 5. That's not bad.
Like I think
21.
Connor was onto something, but I don't know what to.
What? Just jump over and let the fishmen take you?
I mean, they might be able to be reasoned with. Like that's the best I can come up with, honestly, at this point. And it's really kind of frustrating that we're like, oh, now we're like just resorting to banging our head against a wall here.
How do you say sorry I magic missiled you in fishman language? How do you spell that?
35.
Lots of B's and L's.
BWBBB WWW.
Lots of B's and L's.
I'm seeing a 0 a lot on the green die. Not so much on the metal one.
$45. Are we at the point where we're getting ready to starve to death? Like if we're taking levels of exhaustion every third day, we're dead.
Well, let's figure out how many days it takes you for the next thing to happen.
Okay.
I don't like waiting for that to happen. If each one of these die rolls represents like a day going by, then that's not, that Lucius isn't trucking with that.
50.
And
What's Lucius doing differently?
Lucius is about to go take Connor's advice and go jump into the water, try to reason with these fish people.
So you're gonna jump
Alex
in
will
and drown
stop
yourself?
him.
By what means?
There we go.
54 rolls.
Days. So the first thing we have to determine is, do you have 54 days worth of rations?
Is each one a day or is each one like an 8-hour period?
Each one's a full day.
Oh, that sucks.
Wait, hold
Done
on. So
faucet.
we brought
everyone-
what? We brought 10 days worth? We stowed 10 days worth on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I also in my pack had an additional 9. So that covers another day for 4 of us and 2 days for 5. So that's
I have
11
rations.
days.
I have 4 more. Excuse me, 5.
I have 10 rations.
I have 10
with me.
rations as well. Yes.
So there was 10 stowed on the ship. That brings you down to 44 days.
Yeah.
Alex's rations bought you what? Another 11?
2 days.
Another 2 days. So that brings you down to 42.
right.
Gus's brings us down to what?
20. So that between 2.5 days.
Okay, we'll round down to 2.
Well, I mean, like, so I have 10,
Mm-hmm.
and Connor has 10, and that's 2.5 days each. So that's 5 days total for between the two of us.
Oh, is that how we're doing it?
Wait, what?
Is it?
Isn't 2 characters with 10 rations is 4 days because there's 5 of us.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay. 4
So
days then.
We're down to 38. And then
How many
how many-
good berries do we get?
Yes. How many good berries do we get?
I
Mhm.
mean,
It's
probably
10
should have started
berries. They go bad after a day. Berries lose their potency if they've not been consumed within 24 hours of casting the spell.
Right. So how many times can you cast Goodberry?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So that's another 6 days or 12 days?
Go ahead and erase all of those spell slots.
Yeah.
Now, let's get an individual nature. Well, let me ask you guys this. On a scale, because you have 32 more days, you're out of
Yeah.
food. How adventurous do you want to get to try to avoid starvation? As far as
I mean, Alex is immediately going to suggest going to one of those pillars, hammering into it, and bringing the insects, and then capturing the insects and trying to eat them.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how adventurous are we willing to get?
We have the adventure. We have the jug, don't we?
Yeah, I
Or
do
are we
have-
literally just going to be eating mayonnaise for the next 32 days?
God. Wait, what can it produce? Let me see what the most caloric thing in here is.
It's probably just
2
butter.
gallons of mayonnaise per day.
It's pure fat. So on a scale of 1 to 10,
Disgusting.
how adventurous do we want to get as far as like eating the local flora and fauna?
Oh, Alex is on a 10. I mean, he's
Okay.
grew up in the Underdark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's get...
Plus, I can season them with some vinegar.
Yeah, 10.
Okay, I want individual nature and animal handling checks. So 2 checks from everybody. You can also make these for Numac. I want to know everybody who gets a 20 or higher on these checks.
Oh, I rolled really well, and it's not going to be a 20.
So 10 total checks. How many are 20 or better?
Is there any reason I can't cast guidance for each of these?
There is no reason you can't cast guidance for
Does
each of
everyone
these.
roll a d4 with all of their rolls?
Oh, Lucius will pass the nature then.
Yay! I also passed my first roll, which is what? Nature and what?
Nature
Animal
and
hand-
animal handling.
Okay.
Failed animal handling.
So I
There we go. Past nature.
Lucius actually nailed guidance or animal handling. That's freaking distressing.
I'm supposed to be good at these. What the? Oh,
All right.
there we go. Finally. So that's.
Great. So Gus passed the nature, failed the animal handling.
Okay,
That's
so
the
how
same with
many
Alex.
Out of 10 possible chances, because all 5 of you rolled 2 dice, how many 20s did we get?
So that's one pass from Gus.
Lucius is 2.
Alex is 1.
So that's 4 total.
20 is the DC, right? Not nat
Yes.
20. Yeah. Okay. And
Nothing from
No.
Numac. Sorry.
Nothing for Numac. That just leaves Connor.
3 from Connor.
3 20s?
Yeah.
You only got to roll two checks.
I thought you said we roll 2 per.
All
right, never mind.
1 animal handling
I got-
check and 1 nature check.
All right, then no, Connor didn't get any.
Okay. So 4 total checks. Now, this is going to represent as you guys start experimenting with, okay, well, we know that there are creatures living inside these spires. We know that there are creatures living inside the water. Sometimes you see other kinds of flora and fauna, like can we eat the mold off this rock? Sometimes you come across small mushroom islands and you can experiment with this. Those checks represent how well you guys navigate around that exploratory diet, I guess we'll say. And we got 4 out of 10. So now, for the remaining 32 days, do we want to designate somebody to make a survival check to do the foraging and hunting?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be me. Yeah. Not with the way I'm rolling today, but yeah.
Make a survival check and add 4 to your roll to incorporate the accumulated knowledge that your party has put together.
All right. So
Does
4 to
guidance work on this?
Sure.
All right. It's almost another one. That is a 22.
Okay. So your rations run out and your good berries run out. Fortunately, before all of that happens, you do manage to, like, okay, we only have this many days of rations. We have no end to drifting in sight. We're going to take some time and figure out how to catch fish, what creatures can be eaten, what color lichen makes us see the fewest spots, and we can put mayonnaise on everything.
Yep.
And so, Connor, you managed to stave off starvation. You can effectively survive indefinitely aboard this boat on this sea. The problem is, it's never possible to get more than a couple hours sleep at a time. It really is one catastrophe after another, and you're drifting for so many days that you lose track of the days. 54 days adrift, assuming somebody's keeping... I'm assuming Alex makes a water clock.
Yeah, Alex has a water clock. It's been running this whole time.
Starts carving notches into the railing. And on that 54th day, you see a shape very, very far off on the horizon. And it's much larger than anything you've seen. You've come across a couple of small islands, but that's about it. These rock spires here and there. And sometimes you've seen very bright lights that you chased for a while that seem to dissipate before you could ever reach them. This shape is different because it's very large and persistent, and at first you think it's another island. You think you're going to make landfall, you'll scavenge up some plants, some mushrooms, maybe a quillback or something. But it's moving, and it's moving towards you. And it's larger than your vessel. And as it gets close enough to actually make out a shape to it, it looks like an enormous, monstrous nautilus shell. This creature is easily big enough to swallow your ship and all of you and the entire gallons and gallons and gallons of water that you're sailing upon. And that's where we will end it for this week.
Actually, guys, I'm not doing the mayonnaise. I'm making a gallon of honey every day so that this is actually tolerable.
Connor's like, nope, I'm eating my mold raw. This is the best,
Lucius
this is the
says
best cave slime.
So Lucius has a class feature that where he can take a long rest without actually needing to sleep. Lucius has not slept for like months, near as anyone can tell, because
But you still can't take a long rest though. Long rest doesn't mean sleep. Long rest means you have comfort and safety for 8 hours.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying though is that Lucius is able to stay awake and keep track as best he can.
Okay. But you're still not taking a long rest.
No, well, I'm not. I'm not. Okay.
I feel like guys that we are we might have made a mistake and that Dunfoss is probably gone by now.
Totally gone. You guys want some experience points?
Fine, yeah, sure.
Bear with me 1 second. Did I do this math right? Yes, I did. I mathed correctly. Okay, so 720 experience points for the silver slasher monsters that you slaughtered as you were coming down in your descent. 150 for driving off the fishmen. And who wants to make a case for some blips?
Gus can go.
Gus.
All right, so we have neutral good. I must be a benefactor and strive to leave things in a better state than I found it. And D&D Beyond just crashed. The reason I am making the case for this one is because Gus was came down here not expecting to come back because this is. Somebody's got to come down here and stop this. It's not like.
So Gus is convinced this is the end.
Gus is convinced this was a suicide mission. He's not looking to die, and if we can get out, great. But
is that how Gus felt before you began the descent?
Yes.
Did not voice his opinion to the rest of his companions.
It wouldn't have changed anything. Also, I kind of was he kind of had held the secret hope that Alexander's plan was not more than I'm sure we can handle this.
Do you have anything else, Gus?
You fool.
Yeah. Shame on me, huh? Ideals, my companions are my support structure, and I must do what I can to protect them from themselves. For standing on the telling everybody to get back into the cabin of shame, while I stood there and drove the boat, despite probably being the least qualified to do it.
You are the worst person mathematically to drive the boat. Nobody could do a worse job than you.
But he's the best one to stand there and get attacked 80 times.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
true. He's definitely
Yeah.
the best at that.
And then the video.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Lucius.
I have my alignment lawful neutral. Take your place in society, work well for your fellow people, take care of your own for actually going on this ridiculous mission. Because, like, the betterment of Dunfos would be served by going down here to stop whatever the hell is happening. Then I have my flaw, double or nothing, for, Connor goes down underwater, vanishes. Okay. Alexander goes underwater, vanishes. Okay, I'm gonna stay here and be ready to pull them out of there with this magic.
Anything else?
And then I have knowledge is paramount for despite the odds being against him, actually succeeding both of his foraging assistance checks.
You figured out which rocks you can eat.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I can go.
Alex.
I have my flaw. I'm sure we can handle this. Some would say for the whole session, but I'm going to say for jumping into the water after Connor disappeared.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
And what does Connor have for me?
All right, alignment, neutral good. Good acts exist beyond the realms of order and chaos, and achieving them is the most important thing. For being the guinea pig to drop into the water, investigate why the lights are being stolen.
Okay.
Okay. Ideals, I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
Ideals, I must warn everyone of the very real dangers of Fey and Fiends, and Fey and Undead, and Fey and other monsters for blowing a spell charge on primeval awareness in an area he's never been in before. Which could have been a day of good berries, but I have a good authority that there is some sort of aberration or Fey or Celestial, etc. nearby. It's so bad, I love it. Flaw, subtlety, and diplomacy are not in my lexicon for thinking that they could befriend the sea hunters.
And who had the most creative solution to a problem this session?
I want to give that to Lucius for suggesting we rig up a fishing pole to try and fish one of the fishmen out with the mace.
Yeah, I like that.
Sounds good to me.
Who furthered the party's goals the most?
I want to say Connor for keeping us all alive.
Yeah.
Or at least keeping it so we don't have to eat that 2 gallons of mayonnaise, which is actually plenty for 5 people, according to the federal government.
I saw that picture.
I feel like you get like nutritional deficits after a while.
Oh yeah.
Probably, but it's like I love
Yeah.
this. How many calories in 2 gallons of mayonnaise? 48,120.
Like, there's probably not a name for what disease you get if you only
Scurvy?
eat mayonnaise for 50 days, but because
I mean,
nobody's ever been stupid enough to do it.
Probably just
It'd be-
some form
it'd
of
be-
scurvy.
It's probably ketogenic shock because you're only eating fat. You're just eating fat.
Like, do you even bother to use a spoon?
Stick your face directly into the jug and just
No.
slurping
I hate
noises.
everything about this.
Who was the badass this session?
Connor for going, yeah, okay, dangle me in the end of a hook. It's fine.
Bandit, get out from under my desk.
I am going to point out one other thing, just real quick. I did take all the magical coffee beans from the spaceship, so we do have coffee. I didn't bring the food, but I do have the coffee.
coffee sweetened with mayonnaise.
Honey.
No, honey. I can make honey once a week.
And
We're
what
giving
is it
badass
once
to
a week?
Connor as well.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I can like do a cycle of mayonnaise, honey. You know.
What about intangibles?
Oh God.
Can I kind of want to give it. I want to give it to Destil because it's always a big meme. Oh, you can live forever off the mayonnaise, but you never find yourself in that situation. Yet here we are.
Living off mayonnaise.
Well, you guys are fishing and scraping cave slime off of rocks and having insect sandwiches.
Yeah.
All with lots of mayonnaise.
So give okay. And Alex also has our straw pool, I do believe. So if I can add all of these up. So Alex, you had 6 blips going in and you earned 3.
Yep.
Blips are currently worth 500. You have to roll all those over.
Yep.
Connor, you had 2 and you earned 5, so you're rolling over at least 1. Would you like to come in next week with 6?
Get back to me. I got to do the math.
Okay, Gus, you had 1 and you earned 3, so you've now got 4.
Okay.
And Lucius,
good.
you had none and you earned 4, so you now have 4.
1 from before, based on my notes.
I will
I'm keeping a
spend.
fairly fastidious track of that.
I will spend 4 blips, so I can finally be level 11.
Okay, so you're going to come in next session with 3 blips, is that correct?
Uh,
So you had 2, you earned 5.
right. So I had 6, and I'm spending 4, so I'm coming in with 2.
No,
Trust me, it makes sense in my head.
Okay. All right, actually, we will not be playing next week on account of it being some ridiculous holiday. And so for those of you who are not American, on July 4th, by law, we have to blow something up. So I think I'm going to blow up an old toaster that I have that I don't need anymore.
It's National
Valid.
Gender Reveal Day.
We find out that we find out.
I hate
what gender
everything
the
right now.
country is.
It's the same every year, though. Merca.
Boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl.
Congratulations, you have a freedom.
I would love to organize somebody's gender reveal party and make whatever the thing is green. Figure that out, slobs.
Well, according to Mass Effect, that would be synthesis. So
All right,
But,
bye.
yeah, no, you're right.
There's a comic where they're like, it's a gender reveal, and then